President Nicolas Maduro has arrived in New York, where he is to face a litany of criminal charges, including a narco-terrorism conspiracy and cocaine importation conspiracy. Maduro was seen walking inside the headquarters of the United States Drug Enforcement Administration after he was captured by American forces in a raid in Venezuela. He's expected to make his first appearance in a Manhattan federal court on Monday. His wife, Celia Flores, also faces similar charges. Meanwhile, Venezuelan Ambassador to South Africa, Carlos Acevedo, has strongly condemned the U.S. military aggression against Venezuela, describing it as a clear kidnapping of President Nicolas Maduro and a serious violation of international law. The ambassador joins me live now. Ambassador, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Just reaffirm for us your reaction to this incident.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for having me, first of all. Good afternoon. Indeed, it is kidnapping. President Nicolas Maduro is still being, for us, the president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And what we are seeing now here is a clear case of kidnapping, illegal kidnapping from U.S. administration, by the U.S. administration. So we are claiming the immediately liberation of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores.
Ambassador, just walk us through a timeline of what transpired in the build-up to this kidnapping, as you've called it, of President Nicolas Maduro. What information do you have?
Yes, our deputy president spoke to the nation yesterday, the deputy president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, reaffirming the role of President Nicolas Maduro as president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and claiming the immediately liberation of him and his wife. It has been outrageous criminal and terrorist attacks that we have been faced since yesterday from the U.S. administration that violates all international laws, violates the UN Charter, and even violates their own internal laws in the USA.
Now, the United States is citing self-defense, right? UN Charter Article 51. What is your response to their claim of a lawful basis for force?
No, they are going against international law, violating the UN Charter Article 1 and 2, because we are a sovereign country. They cannot be allowed of make a military intervention in other country and take away and kidnap the president of this country. It is against international law, against Article 1, Article 2 of the UN Charter. And it cannot be, it is unacceptable what is happening.
Now
We are also seeing some voices in the USA that are also protesting this kind of colonialist and imperialist actions that the US have perpetrated against the people of Venezuela, against President Nicolas Maduro.
Ambassador, can you confirm casualties and infrastructure damage, including ports, energy sites, and will Venezuela publish an independently verifiable assessment of this?
The research is still going on, but there have been some casualties, of course, and damages of infrastructure. But as I said, the research is still going on to have the precise details of it.
Ambassador, what do you expect from the UN Security Council meeting scheduled for Monday? And what would you consider a meaningful outcome or resolution? Investigation, sanctions, or something else?
I take this opportunity to also thank the strong and the brave position assumed by the South African government in making this call for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council and condemning the US actions against international law that we saw yesterday. We expect a general condemnation of what happened, because it's clear that it's against international law, but also we expect the solidarity with the people of Venezuela and strong positions asking for the liberation of President Maduro. And what happened yesterday also is very concerning. You have shown the press conference held by President Trump and his leaderships, explaining all the details of the military intervention in Venezuela, but also saying something that is outrageous, is amazing what he revealed, what he unveiled. President Trump said that now he's going to rule our country. He's now to rule Venezuela. He's now to take control of our oil resources, our lands, our mineral resources. It is incredible. It has no sense at all, and not legal frame that support that. So it's just to say what is the thought, what is the thinking that they have. We are not we are not going to allow them to rule us, because we are an independent country, we are a sovereign country, and we are going to defend this independence.
Ambassador, this speaks to my next question, obviously, which you've answered in part, because as you've said, President Trump has said they will run Venezuela. Just walk us through about who's running things at the moment in the absence of President Maduro, firstly. And secondly, you talk about offering resistance and that you will not stand up to the United States. Does this mean war with the United States?
Yes, first of all, our Deputy President, Delcy Rodriguez, as the Constitution stated, is taking the lead, but it's important also to say that the presidency is still under Nicolas Maduro. She's taking like an interim presidency while we succeed to bring him back to Venezuela. So Deputy President Delcy Rodriguez is now taking the lead, and she has just yesterday a minister council with all the ministers and all the governmental forces, and she was very clear. The president of Venezuela is still President Nicolas Maduro. And regarding our resistance, of course, we are going to defend our people, we are going to defend our homeland, and we are going to stand firm. For this also it's important to highlight that the support of other countries, of our allies, of the international solidarity is also a key factor to avoid that the US is going to perpetrate another crime, another terrorist attacks as he has done yesterday.
Now, I'd like you to touch on diplomatic relations with the United States. What is that position at the moment, or do you expect withdrawal of any diplomats that are in the United States at the moment?
We do not have diplomatic relations with the USA since many years ago.
So let's talk about how you likely to deal with further intrusion by the United States. Have you already started engaging your allies? What is that looking like? How are you likely to protect the sovereignty of Venezuela?
It's also one of the issues that we want to speak on the UN meeting of the UN Security Council. And diplomacy is also the key to go forward, to go against these imperialist and colonist pretensions of the US administration, of the Trump administration. We are going to strain our diplomacy, we are going to strain our contacts with our allies countries, and we're going to stand firm. One thing important to say is that this situation, no one in our country supported. All are against what happened yesterday. It's unacceptable. Even the parties that do not support President Nicolas Maduro are against what happened yesterday. So it is an outrageous and criminal and terrorist attack that we have condemned in a nationwide opinion.
Ambassador, final thoughts. You've talked about bringing President Nicolas Maduro and his wife back to Venezuela. Just walk us through that process. Is it going to be a diplomatic process?
Also, yes, it's going to be a diplomatic process, a legal process, a process with our solidarity with Venezuela. We are launching an international campaign claiming for the liberation of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. And maybe it will be a long process, I don't know, but we are going to struggle for it.
Ambassador, appreciate your time. That was Venezuelan Ambassador to South Africa, Carlos Feo Acevedo, and he says he will do, in fact, the nation of Venezuela will do all that they can to bring President Nicolas Maduro and his wife back to Venezuela.